So my name is Trish Garland, and I own the Garland Pilates studio in Sherman Oaks, and I'm a level 2 instructor in Romana Pilates system. More inner thigh, so that inner track's more important than your outer, because you always have that. How's your hip? It's not bad. I've been teaching Pilates since the late 80s, but I got certified much later because there wasn't a certification program prior to that. I was thinking when I said dance with the springs, I love when Romana would always say that. Drop that hip and press out, scoop, and lower and lower. Not to, really undermine any other people that are out there, so I can't talk about other things. What I can talk about is Romana's Pilates and how brilliant it is, and that, Romana learned all of this from Joe. And she, harnessed it and read those books and reread and everything that he did. And the depth of our work is beyond anything that I know from anyone else. And also, the relationship of a mentor, someone who is following and trying to be able to extrapolate from that person, and then that person who's the mentor who tries to help her flock, in this sense, Romana, her flock, develop and grow beyond her capacity. She was always fueling us. And I remember, like, when she would teach a lesson, she would always go back and think about that person, right? What could I do for them? How could I do it? And that's the kind of training that she has built in us, besides all the curriculum, the unbelievable curriculum that exists today. That's because of her memory, her volumes, of work, and then to understand why you do an exercise. Yes, and all the way up. Keep the hands connected, but don't cross the knees. Just long releases. I have people come who have done another type of Pilates, and they feel like they didn't learn. And I always try to tell them, can't do anything about that. Let's start from here and go forward. But they're always kind of at a deficit because they're trying so hard to not do what they did before. It's always hard to build on not a very strong foundation. And what you get with Romana's Pilates is an extremely strong, in-depth foundation that continues to blossom and flourish. I think what's imperative is that you find, I know in Romana's Pilates that you are guaranteed that you are going to have a teacher that has really worked 600 hours and in depth at least 600, right? Usually it's thousands of hours. And they never stop learning. It's a continued process. And lift. And we're constantly learning from each other, Teacher, student, student, teacher, and that's what always we were taught. Release, release your hands. And scoop, 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 good. And press. Hold. What's all that? Can we just do one more? Come back up. Now, go back and hold it. Now get lower. Because you can. And press out two. Now, pull back. Stay back. Yes, come on. Come on. Yes, and forward. Nice. Lift. Let me have them. And around. Good. Nice. Go back. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Yes. And reach forward and down. You have the control. Hold. And lift. And reach. And last one. Normally we would only to just do 3 and 3, right? Now, can you go back? One more. Come on. Yes. So you don't want to go below, just to the level up.
When I open my legs, not cheating.
Well, nice. Eventually,
you don't need it.
You won't have to, but you know, when you're trying to progress to the next level, you can use a little bit. My sister knew Romana prior to my knowing her, and she met her. It's a really wonderful story. She met her through her 2 daughters who were taking ballet with Romana. It was not even associated with Pilates. So Romana, being this wonderful and beautiful dancer that she was, professional, she, like many people at that age, she was single. Her husband, she was no longer with her husband, and so she was a single mom. So she was teaching Pilates in the daytime, and then at like 5 o'clock, or maybe it's more like 3:30 or something, when the kids got out of school, she was teaching ballet, and that's how I first met her, going to actually a recital at which Romana, they performed this wonderful ballet, and then Romana gave them their costumes because she made their costumes as well. How I got to her in terms of my work was I was injured, and I was in a chorus line, and I got injured and went to her for that, and then got very excited about the work. But I'd met her also again with my sister going up to the studio, because I was in chorus line at the time prior to my injury, and I happened to be in a fur coat, and you know, Romana was very I don't want to say grande dame because that puts her in a different situation, but she was very elegant, and so she noticed it was a four-link fox. I know we don't wear those now today because it's passé and not good for the animals, but she recognized that, and from that moment I was sort of known as her star because of chorus line. But she helped me rehabilitate my knee. So the arm always faces in, and we got that active lifted back arm. Just go there. Now lift up and forward. Now you're advanced, so resist. Now push against me. Push. Yes. Good. Keep your hands up. Good. So inhale, exhale, inhale up. Now reach further back to me. Touch me. Yes, reach forward. Good. And bend. First of all, I have to say it's always refreshing for someone who is as talented as Darien to be able to come and continue her work. He's really that disciple that I was talking about, coming and, you know, having a different eye, you know, being able to look at her work. So, and we've known each other a long time, Darien and I, so it was a nice thing to come back together again after both teaching individually, being able to connect and work together on her project because it helped her, but it also helped me. It was a win-win for both of us. Tension and hold, lift, long neck, up, and reach. Good, now don't rock. Now just bring your arms in, but keep your body up. Good, and up. Open, and reach long. Hold, good. And up. Open, and hold. Just don't get that, you know, that rocking it out of there. Now reverse it. And reach over the knees and hold. I know you're trying so hard. And open, lift. And reach, hold. Open, lift. And good. Tease up the third one. That's easy too. So we'll do circles twice. Your arms are up, lower the legs. And don't lower your arms. The arms stay there. Lower, lift, up, lift, one more. Now fold away. Beautiful form. Do you know what? Go behind you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Go down. Ibiza! So quiet for me, Argentina.
Hip tightness.
Breaststroke. One. Lift. Three. Now you have to be in your supervisor. On your 5. And press. 1. 4, 5. No, your head's not down. You're lifted and long. Right ribs in, and then come back on. 2, 3, 4, 5. In on 6. That's it. Reverse. Reach and so it's and 1, 2, 3, 4. Good.
Do I get to do at least one talkie?
Okay, one talkie. And knowing that the feet can be either flexed. Just 3 arms and sit. Is your 1 is your first one.
Okay.
Here we go. 1, don't bounce. 2, and reach, hold it, pull back into your C curve, and sit.
Wait.
Close the arms.
Okay.
Hold it there, and pull back, and sit. Oh, that's horrible. All right. So we'll do the 3, you'll do the roll back push-up into the well on 3. All right. And roll back. And chin on chest, lift. Now try to keep your shoulders in line with your hips as long as you can. And let your back, yes, and go.
Reach back.
No push up.
Okay.
I had already had rehabilitation, so, and at the time I was in Los Angeles. I wasn't in New York where she was, when I got injured. So when I did go back to New York is when her magic hands, but I had no expectation like of a healing kind of thing at all. I just went there because I knew, that she was excellent at what she did, and I didn't think of her really as anything more than what I did, someone in the arts as a ballet mistress or something like that. She was the best in her field, and I had always searched out the best, so it was very natural, but I did not have any idea what it would look like, what she would do to me or anything, but when she worked with me, she didn't say very much. And I think because I was used to, my ego being stroked or whatever, now I'm not sure, but she was very quiet. But when she spoke, I responded in such a way that, because I was so wanted to soak up every word, and it was actually brilliant because she gave me so little, but it was so much. And that's what I remember about my lesson, because I have a tendency to work too hard, overwork. And I'm sure intuitively she knew that, because she was very intuitive. I didn't know that at the time. And so part of her brilliance, I believe, too, was that she could recognize that whatever it was in the human being that she was right in front of her, which we're always told, work with the body in front of you. Well, I didn't understand that, but now I do. So that's what I remember most. And did I feel immediately better? I just remember I felt great after the lesson. But I didn't know if my knee had been improved anyway. And I wish that I had done Pilates prior to. But when I was in the theater dancing, I didn't have time, or I didn't make the time, to do that. And Now, I wish, knowing what I know now, I had obviously done it reverse, but wasn't the case. And twist around. Come on. No, not in the well. Go back. Yeah, now reach your top arm too and your bottom arm. We do have a training center here. There's several in the United States, you know, New York being our mothership, but as you can tell, that's 3,000 miles away. So we have it here to be able to, for people here to access. And we have a great team of, you know, teachers who do that, as well as, you know, Romana always came out. She's doing that less and less all the time. But, you know, Shari's here, her daughter, who trains with us, and Cynthia Lachard from Australia, and myself, and Juanita, who's in Chicago, and many, many others who really bring this work to its fruition. And since we're the only one, I mean, it's unique unto itself because it's gotten, sadly, watered down. And also, sadly, people don't know the difference. And so hopefully through this kind of, you know, opportunity, maybe more and more people will really realize that we're here and the work, the true work, is here. Grab your chin to chest. That's it. Because you can do sort of that dancer throwing the head up. Or gymnast. Yeah. And come up. Lift, lift, lift. Lower that knee if you can, opening that hip. Now pull back into your, yes.
I just don't know if I can keep
Back. And lift. Now lean forward, lifting your back. Now try to make each one progressive stretch.
You're so wonky on this side. Look at that.
So it's, well, you're always the same. I don't know why you're surprised. And scoot, chin to chest. Often we don't think of a fad being positive, but I know he would be thrilled that this was universal. In terms of education, he thought it should go into every school. You know, he thought that the curriculum that was in our schools really was unhealthy. Circle in, but keep your waistband. Try to stretch, even though you're doing, you know, all the dessert. Press this forward. Right. Now bring your body to your leg, body to your leg, all the way up. Oh, and leg side. And up, chin to chest. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now square up those hips. Yes, pull that left hip up and lower the knee if you can.
Oh, so you just sit down.
Extend your feet a little bit to the center. You do it on this, right?
I do only.
Good. Yeah. So you do one to start? You know, I find it really humorous, quite frankly, because I think of a fad as being something or a trend that's over, you know, in a very short amount of time. And you know, he was here since the 50s. That's like over 60 years, and he was doing it prior to that. So you could get a statistic for anything. And this, obviously, this person has that statistic or whatever. And I don't think you're ever going to convince those people, you know, nor should we even try. I think the people that are going to come to this work that understand or want to understand this work, you know, this is something that's lasting. It's not a quick fix. It's not a short-term in and out. I know it's something that has a lifespan, a duration.
Yeah.
Now, are you archy?
Yes, yes.
So I want you to think of the push down on the one chair right now. And it changes your body and your mind, and not everyone wants that. But it's here for all those people who have any kind of excitement about the possibility of that kind of work. You only have 3. That should be your third. Okay. Third. Right here. Release.
Release.
Up. Over. And good. Pull up. Well, that's improved. Now, careful, don't go below your hip. So stay in line with your hip. Right. Now, combination.
Oh.
One more.
Yeah.
All right. Now watch your arms here. And press out. Lock the carriage. Forward. Lift the chest. Open the chest. And round and fold in 2. Watch your eyes on. Good. Arabesque. Pull 1, pull 2. Now look back at your foot. Bend the knee, lower your head down, and up. And close the carriage, and bring it up. Reach to the heel of your foot. Long neck, long back. So don't go forward. Go all the way down. Stop it, lift, and come home. Stop. Now push it. Lift. Down. Go out. Don't move the carriage as you go down. Now pull it back. And press out. And move it. Yes. Long. Reach to the heel. Just watch that you don't bounce it, control it. You don't have to stop it, you just have to control it.
Sorry. Yeah.
8 to 10. Upper back, up and the other side. Release your hands. Lift your left leg. Yeah. 2 more. Keep the knees in. And lift up and forward. Up, and out. And reach. Try to fill it on your own. And out. And come in. Twist, twist, twist. And twist. Don't let your arm do it. Last 2. Twist, lift, lift, lift. Nice. And that's it. Drop your head. Look at your knees. Drop your knees. So not yet. So look first. Go down. You don't omit that. Ever? Ever. Well, ever. Okay. Single leg to the front. And lift. And to the side. 2 side. 2 back. Now we're going to do side back. And back side. And bring it in. And lift. And good. To the side. Lift. To the back. And kick it up. Kick it up. Side. Side back. And back side. And in. Good. How can you help someone? I think the only way you can do that is continue to keep yourself open and keep yourself doing the work. And I always find it sad if when teachers, I don't care if they do a workshop or if they take lessons or what they do, but to keep themselves fresh, because how can you ever in anything not just Pilates, but be the best you are if you're not getting something put into yourself and your soul, you know, to be able to be creative and come forward. So it behooves all of us in whatever field we're in, you know. And so Pilates isn't exempt from that. If you're not doing it yourself, I can be instructing someone and making them move, but that doesn't mean I feel it or understand what they're feeling. But as soon as I start doing the work, and then if I go and get something from, you know, an instructor or from a workshop or something at, you know, a training center, you get excited again. It excites you in such a way because there's so much information, you forget it, right? And then on the other hand, you know, it's always a two-way street. You know, someone comes to you, even if they're in that seminar or certification program or whatever, you're always learning.
But this is about the articulation of the spine and about the evenness of your hips. So as you come up, articulate your spine, roll it up, and look down so you can elongate your neck. Now you've done two each way, so now you're going to reverse. See, there's a little bit of that wiggle there, so that's what you have to control to be able to lift up and feet.
Like Romana always taught us, you never come to a finish point. You know, you always are learning. And, you know, as much as I thought she knew, she was always referring back to her notes I mean, I remember her always going home, I said this before, and thinking about that client or thinking about that workshop, how could I improve it? So she was never ever, she never had like this form that she set up. If she came and she saw this group of people, she would do the work based on what she saw their needs were, just like a client. You know, so I think that when teachers have lost that spirit, then they, you know, need to reawaken themselves to be able to understand how important it is and work themselves up to that.